Migrar no solo es una decisión, no es solamente cambiar de país. Migrar también significa reconstruirse, replantearse todo lo que significan las cosas para ti en tu vida. Bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio de Migrar con propósito. Un espacio donde exploramos un poco más sobre la realidad de migrar, cuál es como toda la esencia que hay detrás de todo esto, y vamos a explorar la realidad de estudiar, trabajar y vivir en otro país. Hoy nos encontramos con Tuğçe, nuestra compañera directora de visados en The Broad Club, quien nació en Turquía, quien luego muy joven se fue a Viena a estudiar su carrera universitaria y más tarde migró a Londres. Ha tenido una experiencia bastante larga en términos profesionales y bueno, si realmente estás viendo este capítulo, si estás aquí es porque tal vez tienes ese gran sueño de emigrar, de estudiar, de trabajar en el exterior, y si es así, este capítulo es para ti. Tuğçe, bienvenida a nuestro podcast de Migrar con propósito. Cuéntanos un poquito de ti, por favor.
Hola Jahir, thank you very much. So I continue in English.
Yeah.
To also switch it a little bit, tweak it a little bit, we might go Spanglish, we will see. So as Jahir said, like I am the sales director in the Blood Club, also managing the visa part, like some of you know, some of you will know. And as Jahir said, like I left home quite early, like with my 18, and then my journey started like in abroad. First like outside my city, in Turkey, in my country. Later on, I went abroad, and here my journey started.
Cool. Tuğçe, what's the expression, or what did your parents say when you first told them that you were going to study abroad? What did they tell you?
Well, the first thing is like, actually it came from them. My first experience in like Europe or abroad, they gave me like a present, like, okay, now you will start with university, why don't you go to London to study English a little bit? Like, we don't mention this part so much, but actually my first abroad journey was still London, and it was 3 months in London myself with the 18 years old, and that was their present to me. Like, now you're adult, you can go and do. That's why when I say, okay, I'm going to Austria, I will study, they were like, okay, yep, good job, all will go well for you, just let us know if you need us to visit, anything from our side. So it was very supportive from their side.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm going to say. It's like a full support from their side. No, like, no, you are super like young yet, still don't go away yet, stay with us. It was not like that.
Not at all. And even in like my first couple of days in London, it was like more like a honeymoon stage. I was so happy meeting people. Then when I realized, okay, I'm going to be here 3 more months, then I started feeling depressed. And I called my father like, I'm gonna go back, let's get me tickets. And he was, okay, I'll do it. Then my mom called me like, you're not getting any tickets, you are staying, and every single day you are having a memory of this city and then telling me when you come back and just enjoy your day. And I was like, okay, that's good, because maybe not everyone has this support from the family or like from the parents. So that was so meaningful for me.
Okay, Tuğçe, when you left Turkey and you arrived in Vienna first, then after that London, what kind of expectations did you have? What type of things did you felt you were losing, and what kind of things you were gaining at that time?
To be honestly, like in my all experiences, I always go without expectation, not to get disappointed. But still, you go with expectations of like, I'm going to change my life, I will find a job, I will have a life here. And what I've noticed is like, I actually lost my childish side. Like I was maybe the princess of the house, like an only child, and I lost it. I grown up, because you have to do everything from washing to cooking, everything you have to learn and do. So it was like learning the real life, going abroad and being a real like myself, not like under the control of my parents, my friends, but just being myself. So it was a losing the bad part and actually bringing the good part of me. So it was very great start.
Ah, nice. So it was a great change for you then.
I believe so, because I felt also like responsible for my decisions and everything I do. It was more like a grown-up life started for me.
Perfect. Great. Tuğçe, what kind of cultural shock did you have at that moment in Vienna and also in London that made you feel like, okay, this is something that I need to overcome?
I have actually something very specific.
Okay.
In Vienna, it was like I went to gym, and I didn't know there is something called Freikörper culture. Like in Germany and Austria, like if you go to gym, if there's a sauna or something, you go completely naked. I had no idea. I entered the gym, the changing room, and all the women were naked. I was like, okay, so everything is different here. That's interesting. So that was like one of my first and very specific cultural shock in Vienna. And then in the UK, honestly...
No, hold on, because that's very interesting. What did you do after that?
Oh, I just tried to be cool, like playing the cool. Like, okay, am I gonna get naked as well in front of everyone, or I just do my way? What do I do? And then actually, if you go with the bikini to sauna and all, people are looking at you like, oh, what?
Rude.
Like that's in a way like this is our culture. It's called like FKK. Even like they explained me in the schools and everything. I was like, okay, but yeah, this is how I feel myself. And obviously they accept you. But
okay.
If everyone is naked and you're going with your bikini, yeah, that was not really nice.
Okay, go on with London then.
And yeah, in London, I was going to say, like in UK particularly, it is mix of cultures and everything. That's why I didn't feel too much of the cultural shock, but the differences between the cultures, yes, it's very noticeable. You see it, but like a shock as a shock, not really. Like it was to me, I think Austria prepared me for that already, so it wasn't like a big shock or anything.
Ah, that's good. Great experiences. So Tuche, what was the most difficult part to build up the relationships in Vienna and then in London?
Well, yeah, when you first go to a country, you are all alone, you have to meet up people. I think the challenging part is like, you need to be very proactive to actually overcome this, because otherwise people will not come to you like, okay, let's go for this, let's do this. And then I was going through websites like meetup groups to understand and socialize with people just to see how it is and so on. Like you need to be very brave. I think that was very hard part, like to meet people, to understand who they are in reality, and also like make friends with them. It was like quite tough in the beginning, but I was, I think, quite brave with that as well. Use the applications, meetup groups, go try everything. If you sit home, then nothing will come to you. You will never make a friend. And then later on when I see, okay, it's coming. And obviously, like not speaking German in Austria in the beginning, it was the biggest challenge, because then you are just with limited people. Everyone speaks English, but you are with group of people, then they switch to German. And that was another thing that, like, okay, it's very hard. That happened to me in Colombia as well. I was like, okay, I need to understand the jokes. Now I understand the language, but what about the jokes?
Exactly.
Those are the challenges I have had.
Okay, that makes me think about how many languages do you speak, Tuche?
Right now, shy with Spanish, but yeah, Spanish is one of the languages. And German, I feel rusty. English and Turkish now, like daily basis.
4 languages then.
4, yeah. Hopefully making it 5 before I turn into 40.
Which other language would you like to learn?
Between French and Italian, like I want to learn one of those languages as well, yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. Let me ask you, is there anything special from your country that you cannot find anywhere else in the world?
It is very simple. Like actually, you guys will say, like, oh, there are Turkish restaurants everywhere in the world, but the Turkish food, like authentic one, is hard to find.
Oh yes, it is.
So that would be the one thing. And I'm not like, oh, I need to be Turkish food, but obviously I miss some of the foods like lahmacun. If any of you searches, find it, try it. It's amazing, but you can only find a good one in Turkey.
Tuche, what is this dish that it's served with full of flames around the dish? How is it called?
It's the pottery kebab. We call it testi kebab. Yeah, it's not bad as well, but it's very like a mix. I would say like it could be good, it could be bad. It depends.
I had a good experience when I visit Turkey, like a long time ago. I ordered this dish, and the waiter came to me, serve it. Was full of fire there, and he was like, enjoy it. I was like, okay, how am I exactly, how am I supposed to enjoy this? It's full of flames, mate.
That's exactly the reason I was saying could be good or bad, but yeah, it is still delicious, obviously. But it's a cultural shock for others, I believe.
No, but my cultural shock stopped or finalized when after like 3, 4, 5 seconds that the flames just stopped and there were no more fire, and then I start to to enjoy my dish, and it was delicious. Seriously, I actually recorded. I have in one of my best pictures and videos that I have from the trips.
Amazing.
So yeah, it was really good. Okay, Tuche, looking back, what was the most difficult situation that you overcome that probably define your character?
Well, I think like going to a university in Austria changed me a lot, because in Turkey I was like just passing my classes without even studying, knowing what I'm doing and everything. But Austria, there were some classes, not all of them, and I'm not saying the university in Turkey was easy, but it's just I understood the system. But in Austria I was struggling so much with some of the classes. Even the native speakers were getting like the lowest grades from the writing, where I was supposed to pass this, and that was a big challenge, and I had to repeat first time in my life a class. And that was then to me, it's like, okay, what do I do? Do I give up or do I continue? What do I do? It's very hard. And there were only a few people passing, but there were. Then I was like, okay, but there are people passing, so it should be fine. Then I noticed that giving up is just like you give up, and it's the easiest thing to do. But you need to study hard, do things different, think out of the box, try everything you can try, and just continue. And then, those challenges were like for me the new, because as I said, like only child, everything goes in the way that you want, and then you are like, okay, you are not passing this class. You're like, how come? Then I had to change how I study. What do I do? Pass, overcome. Then I noticed that giving up is not something I want to do, and it's not the right way to do, but I used to do it a lot. If there's a problem, I give up, I'm gone and done, but no longer.
That's good to know this story. Tuche, what kind of beliefs did you change from in your life after living abroad?
That's a very good one, exactly. Like I wouldn't say I've changed any beliefs, but I started becoming more open-minded, like hearing about other cultures, listening about other religion, even the new like mindfulness and so on, like something I would say, oh no, it's not for me. Now I'm completely in it, like believing in energies, that we come together because of our energies. Even right now we are here for that reason. I think that has become like part of my energy abroad. Like I was like, why I'm always meeting same type of people in every country I go, and they always help me, they are friendly, and it was in the end the same thing. And I think that belief of me like, oh no, I don't believe in those things, energies, now it's that has changed completely.
Okay, Tuche, how do you handle the pressure to adapt abroad in a country or in a place that was not your home?
Well, to be honest, I think my personality was almost all the time was like quite flexible. Even if, like as I said, like I was so much of like in my world and so on, like still I was in a very adaptable like personality. I wouldn't be saying like if my friends say, okay, let's go here, oh no, it has to be here. I was always flexible. I think that part of me helped me to adapt easily, but it's always in the beginning, and particularly with the language barrier, it's also like very, very hard. Then what you need to do is like just grab even the problems, because when I do the problems, I was just like going very down. But those are the ones actually teaching you things. While speaking, I don't want to make any mistakes while speaking another language and so on. People will make jokes. No, like I was always like this. But then making a mistake and then seeing that people still understands you and so on, like seeing actually people also super flexible with other things, then you're like, okay, I have to give my best to adapt myself. And that's why, like in Australia, I struggled a lot, language and so on. The culture is a bit cold. People don't say hi or hello or how are you in the supermarkets. When you say, they actually just look at you like, why you're asking me this? Like I'm if I'm good or bad, is it none of your business, because you don't even know me. Like they are in that mentality. Then came to UK, it's completely different. Everyone is like, hi, how are you? How was your day? And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And in Turkey as well, like, oh, we start talking about our childhood, just buying something. So it was like very, very different parts. And even in Colombia, I was like, okay, yeah, people like more like UK, more like Turkey, not like Austria. And then you just start adapting, like, okay, I'm in that country, here that works, and then you become that personality. Even when I speak the language, I feel like my voice changes, my personality changes. That's how I feel, obviously, but yeah. But it is, I think, being flexible and just grabbing anything that comes to you, like embracing that experience is just a key.
Tuche, we were asking you a lot of Turkey, Vienna, London, but at some point you were living in Colombia, and then you moved back to London. Tell us a little bit about these changes, going to Colombia, adapting to Colombia, and then coming back to London.
Well, that was also very interesting because Colombia, I had very good time and all, but for example, I had more cultural shocks in Colombia than in the UK. Like I woke up one day with the street vendor saying flores, and then it continued avocados. Then the other things, I was like, okay, this is going to be my day. Continuing tamales, del Santa Elena, and then it goes on and on. And later on, you obviously enjoy. But in the beginning, it was just like when I'm going to have my sleep in peace. It was a bit difficult. And then, but I noticed that, okay, I got used to it now, and the nature in Colombia, amazing. Now I miss it being here, and UK has a good nature as well, but I miss the Colombia. It's just now you are dividing your personalities, putting into different countries and just enjoying the experience. And I will be in Colombia again, and I'm sure I will enjoy the same way. But yeah, it was just coming back to UK again, it was like, oh, everything is quiet. I can sleep at night. There is no one sending anything, or there is no one. Where I live in the UK as well, it's very quiet, because if it's London, it could be different. But then it's okay, there is absolute peace here. Maybe it's not normal either. Then you enjoy more the noise this time. It's just, human being, we always look for different things. But it was it was a big change, I would say, from UK to Colombia, then Colombia to UK. But now, knowing both countries, enjoying the experience again.
We were talking about earlier today adapting, and I think you excel this. You know how to adapt in each country, in each culture now, and that's something that you learn from this experience.
Exactly. That was, I think, what helped me was going abroad very early age, or leaving my parents' house very early times, with 18. I think that was the time it helped me, because if I want to do this change maybe after 30-something, 40-something, it could be different, because our personality is a bit more strong. Whereas with the 18, you are actually just building up your own personality, and then you can add up all those bits.
Wow, that's experience. What motivated you to start teaching others how to do their migration processes, applying to university? What was your motivation to start this at the Broad Club?
I think I always have the idea or desire to help others, and then seeing the process is not straightforward, particularly if you are doing alone. And when I did my process for London, to apply for visa, schools and so on, my cousin helped me, and I was like, if I could, I would help others, because otherwise alone one could be lost and do visa rejections or wrong schools and so on. Then noticing this, I was and the University of Vienna process as well, I use an agency that knows how to do it, and I was no, without it I would be completely lost. That's why I was if I could one day, I would like to, and that's how it started. And I didn't actually imagine a career international education consultant, but it just came to me, and I noticed that is actually my passion. I work for universities, language schools, but what I noticed I actually most this part of the work, to helping and being with the people, sometimes face to face, sometimes online, but being part of their process and experiencing this myself. I think I feel it could just touch tiny bit in someone's life, but it's meaningful for me that I might make it a bit easy.
Tuche, what type of stories from your students or the students you are advising reminds your times back in school, at the university?
Yeah, when I actually hear from a student hey, where is my offer? Oh, my visa result didn't come, what's going on? That anxious feeling, I completely get it. Sometimes you have to, I waited for my Vienna visa 2 months, and it was supposed to be 1 month. So that's why it's that feeling of oh, I'm waiting, but I don't know what's going to happen. I completely understand them. And then when everything goes through, and then that moment of reality comes as well, is pure happiness. And that is as well I'm I know all these feelings and I appreciate it, but these two are the most dominant ones, being very anxious towards the end and then being super happy in the end.
Okay, Tuche, from your experience, what is the most common mistake that a student during this process can do that could affect their emotions, that could affect their future, way to migrate to other countries? Yeah. What is the biggest mistake that they commit?
to me, it's not that I'm part of the broad club, but not getting a guidance. It could be guidance from your parents, guidance from your teacher, I don't know, guidance from your advisor, but get a correct guidance. Like, as I said, for my language school process, I got guidance from my cousin. For my university, I got guidance from an agency, and that helped me to find the right university, right course, right country, right school, and do the visa process correctly, because anything that might go wrong in this process might really make the process very bad. And I met so many people in Vienna, like, oh, I came to study medicine, and they didn't know a word of German, and they had to pass a German test as well as a medical test in a year, which they couldn't. And their dream wasn't even to be a doctor. So I'm like, that was the wrong guidance, or like wrong way to follow for them and their journey. But they did it, and that's why the right guidance for whatever you do is the key. Get support, maybe professional, anything that you do for your career, your education, that would really help.
So the biggest mistake is having lack of information, or not the information complete or right in a right way.
Exactly.
And not getting the right people to guide them in the correct way.
Exactly, yeah. You know as well, like, we have people coming with visa rejection that which shouldn't happen, and those type of like little mistakes done in the process actually ruins the whole process for future, for everything, or not choosing the right course, right university. That's why doing research is good, but getting a guidance from a person, it's very the key, I think, in the process.
If you could speak to Tuche from the back, from the past, Tuche, what kind of things would you tell to Tuche from the past to avoid in order to not commit the same mistakes that you have committed so far?
But I think I would say, like, don't be shy, and if you want something, just go for it. Don't wait for it, don't lose time. If something is your dream, just go for it, even early. And if you make mistakes as well, that's fine, but just accept those mistakes, learn from them, and continue.
What does it mean for you to migrate with purpose after all these things that you have learned from your own experience?
I think it is the motivation that keeps you in the hard days, all these challenges that we told, all these difficulties, problems that we told. If you migrate with like a aim, with a, I don't know, like dream, then you actually try to reach that point. And then you don't give up, you continue everything that in the way that you want to. And that helps also for your life to flow in a way. There will always be problems, but it just keeps you motivated for the times that actually that you don't want to have. Then you are like, okay, I came here for this, and I can do this, and I will do this. Like, that is a very different mentality, so you don't actually give up easily, and then you work for what you want. If it's find a job in a country and stay here, then you work towards it, and then you make it. So it just makes this difference of making the dream a reality.
What would you suggest to people that dream about living abroad in another country, like in the United Kingdom, but they feel like very scared to go away, to leave home, to leave their family all their life in their home countries? What would you tell them?
I think, like, to me, like, if you are that scared, it might not be for you. First of all, think about it. Because if you want something too much, you overcome all these fears, and you will have the best experience in your life. Those fears, yes, we all have it, or like those thoughts, I would say, like, we all have it. But don't fear. If it's for you, it's going to be a great experience. So what I would say, like, don't fear. It's like, it's not simple, I know, but if you don't fear, then you have a better experience, and then you just live it.
Good. Yeah, nobody told us that this is an easy experience. Migrar no es solamente un viaje y cambiar de lugar, es de repente algo que te ayuda a cambiar profundamente tus emociones, tu forma de vivir, tu estilo de vida, tus convicciones, te mejora la resiliencia y un montón de cosas más que vas a adquirir para tu vida. Hoy, luego de escuchar la historia de Tuche, cómo fue dejar Turquía, su familia, cómo fue llegar a Viena, cómo fue llegar a Londres, ir a Colombia, después a Londres nuevamente, y quién sabe qué más le depare en el futuro. Entendimos que esto es un camino de flexibilidad, de tener resiliencia, de ser abierto a los cambios, de tratar de sobrepasar esos choques culturales que se viven cuando migramos al exterior. Entonces creo que es una historia más que nos llena de muchas ganas, de mucho propósito, que nos motiva a hacer lo mismo. Quizás si tú ahí que estás viendo nuestro video tienes esas ganas y ese deseo de ir al exterior a cambiar tu futuro, de pronto a estudiar, también a trabajar, a vivir, creo que es una motivación más escuchar a alguien que tuvo los mismos miedos que hoy tú los estás teniendo también, y que quizás esta historia te pueda ayudar a sentir de que es posible, de que simplemente es un miedo, que tal vez sean solo preguntas que tú tienes y que todavía no tienes las respuestas, y que pues básicamente es darle respuestas a esas preguntas que tienes. Entonces aquí en The Broad Club estamos súper abiertos a darle respuestas a esas preguntas que tú tienes, así que te dejamos este mensaje para que nos compartas tu historia, para que nos compartas esas ganas, ese proyecto que tú tienes en el exterior, y para que veamos de qué manera podemos ayudarte y podamos empujar como todo ese proyecto que tú también tienes. Recuerda que migrar con propósito significa superar esas barreras, superar esos miedos, aprender de esos desafíos que te pone la vida y capitalizarlos para hacer de tu futuro profesional algo mucho más exitoso. Nuevamente muchas gracias por acompañarnos en este capítulo y nos vemos en el próximo capítulo de Migrar con propósito. Chao.